ladies of the Dabbleverse. I'm good at eating pussies.
Mumbling Nick in the back room, glary. Cool pineapples rules too strict to bear. If this he said kick, you've got some flair. Time to break the chains and take the air. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No more scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No more scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Interviews roll, stories unfold. Mumbling no more, his voice turns bold. Mr. C cheers from the sidelines cold. They go pineapple left in the cold. Now the studio's his, the future bright. Nick's own podcast is guiding light. No more whispers, his tone takes flight. He's soaring now with all his might. Yeah!
Taz, if you want me to go down on you, I will. I'll try my best. Yeah, I will certainly try my best. What's up, guys? Little impromptu. I think I originally set this for 10 o'clock. Then I had to move it to 10:30 for annoying reasons. I was telling Vagina Wrinkle I was at the grocery store, cart full of groceries, went to check out, and my fucking bank debit card wouldn't fucking work for some reason. Yeah, I'm not the richest man. I am a working class stiff, as I've said a million times, but I definitely had enough money for the groceries. Couldn't fucking figure it out. Hey, Vagina Wrinkle, good to see you. So yeah, I was trying all sorts of things. Then I noticed that I received a text from my bank at like 3:15 this morning. It was an automated thing, but it was questioning what they thought was a possibly suspicious charge, just making sure I wasn't hacked, and to let them know yes or no. Type in yes or no on the text, and I don't know. I thought it was spam or whatever the fuck I thought, so I just ignored it. So I saw that, so I put yes that I had made the purchase and filled up my card again because they had put everything back, and it didn't work again. Finally had to call my bank. I was on hold for like 20 something minutes. Apparently they it's funny because they were suspicious of the charge. They still put it through, but then disconnected my card. So I had to tell them that yes, I did make that purchase, and then they asked me about a couple other ones. I said yes, and then they turned my card back on. But yeah, it was a fucking nightmare. I basically had to shop 2 or 3 fucking times. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Metal. I know I saw MKE. I don't really follow him, but I saw when I changed my time from 10 to 10:30. I saw that Schmiel was going live the exact same time as me. And I've told people a million times, like, just people apologize, and I'm like, just go live when you go live, man. I'm not gonna, only thing that sucks with stuff like that, like some of my audience and Schmiel's audience is the same audience. When the big shows go live, I don't really care because I can't compete with them anyway. But I get the people that are nice enough to show up, and support. yeah, like I think Deft was here right at the beginning, and then he's in Shamil, so he's bouncing back and forth. So I appreciate you guys, man. I didn't have much. I think I even have Schmiel open because I wanted what I was going to open with was the end of Friday night's podcast Schmiel when Ava and I went on. It was kind of a funny story. Schmiel had sent me the link, not just me, but he had like a little chat thing open up with a handful of us that he just kind of sends the link on certain nights, like the Friday night streams, Friday and Saturday night when he's outside. So I got the link while I was doing my nightly walk. Health reasons. I've been walking a lot at night lately, trying to get the blood flowing down to the legs and all this shit. So I was like, I'll check out Schmiel when I get back home, see if he's got anyone on, and maybe I'll pop on. So I put him on, and he's got Ava on, which shocked me. I didn't even know he knew Ava. I'm sure he knew of her, but and as soon as I put it on, I hear Shmuel say my name and take like a shot at not a cheap shot or anything, just a shot at my political views or something. So then I jump on and he's like, "Oh, Nick's in the back." So anyway, it ended up inadvertently being like a 2-on-1 political debate, me and Ava against Shmuel. But what I wanted to do is show the end of that, but unfortunately, I mean, I could still show it, but Shmuel has kind of there's no you can't watch the chat the live chat replay on that live stream for some reason, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to show some things that Dr. Chow said to me. Now, mind you, I have zero issue with Dr. Chow. We've never even talked. And I know he has issues with Final Boss, and I've had issues with Final Boss. So, and he's friends with Deft. I'm friends with Deft. So, figure we were fine, and I have no problems with anyone disagreeing with me politically and taking a shot. Like, I think I've shown that. I want It's not going to affect how I feel about anybody. I hope it doesn't affect how they feel about me. We have differences of opinion on politics. Perfectly fine. So I would have zero problem with that. It's just what he said, and it kind of fits into the theme of tonight, where I kind of wanted to talk about the hypocrisy and the phoniness that kind of goes on in this Dabbleverse and in the real world, where people will call people out for one thing, but then they're fine when their buddy does it, or fine when someone else does it. Let me see, middle. Hold on. Did the final boss chill out a lot recently? I hardly see him now. He used to be on everyone's chat. Dude, all right. Yeah, what sucks for me is, man, he's got me blocked. So the only time I never know he's there unless I see someone like talking to him. Deft actually asked me the other day. I'm sure he's not gonna. It's nothing personal, so I'm sure he won't mind. But he asked if I had talked to the final boss to book him on the show, because I'm hoping to get final boss on. I have issues with him. He has issues with me, but it's nothing like nasty where we can't talk it out. I think could be compelling. You know what I mean? And for a small show like this to have two people who have issues like talk it out, but I told Deft, like, he's got me blocked, so I can't get a hold of him on anything. I have an alt account that's just Mumbling Nick without the OG, where on YouTube. So if I see him in the chat, sometimes if I see someone talking to him in the YouTube chat, sometimes I'll switch over just so I can say something to him. But yeah, I'd love to get him on the show. I know he was in somebody's chat the other day, because that's why Deft asked me. But yeah, I think he's chilling a little more. He's got his X set to like some kind of private thing. I'm blocked anyway, but I think he has it like Stuttering John had it before, where he has to approve if you can see what he's posting or something. I don't know. Maybe somebody was fucking with him hard like that. That's where I would like to talk to him. So I was, without being told directly, it seems like, so my memory, sorry, I'm all over the place. My memory of like when he blocked me was last December. Because we would bust balls, and I was never nasty and he was never too nasty. It was just ball busting shit. I was always telling Rob that he was trolling him and shit like that, and take away his wrench. But in a mostly joking way. I did think that he might be trolling Rob, and now I really think he may have been trolling Rob, but not like in a mean way. But anyway, yeah, him and I, if you guys remember, Luigi Mangione is the guy who allegedly shot the CEO of United Healthcare. in the back. So when that happened, that was last December, and I was having like a talk with, like, I've had talks with Ekel about it. Other people, look, you guys can call me crazy. That's like the one issue where I'm maybe a little off on. Hey, Mr. Z. Um, Not that I think it's okay what he did, but I would not be upset if he got away with it, because if you scare these CEOs, maybe they'll stop fucking doing them, especially the healthcare CEOs, where they literally make money off of rejecting stuff to keep people alive and healthy and shit. So anyway, the final boss and I got in a debate on it. So I'm trying to, debate him or talk to him on it, and he kept saying, "You're old, I'm young, murder's wrong." That's, and I would try and get, philosophical. I would try and talk about different things, and he'd be like, "You're old, blah blah blah, this and that." And the next thing I know, I was blocked. So I thought he blocked me over this political discussion we had, which I found shocking. I think it's the only political discussion him and I have ever had. But I found out recently that's not why he blocked me. He blocked me because I associate with certain people who um, harass him, dox him, something like that. I'm not even sure who these people are. And the reason I would like to talk to him is because he associates with at least one person who was involved in my doxing and harassment. So just kind of letting them know it sucks, but that's kind of how this Dabbleverse is. I'm against it. I would never dox or harass anybody, but it's sometimes it's those people when they're on your side, it's a good thing, and he just has different people on his side and I have different people on my side. It sucks, but I think if we talked it out, it's not like number one, the stuff that these people supposedly did, I'm not even aware of. And I'm saying he might not even be aware of what somebody he talks to did. Though I'd be shocked. He may not know he did it to me, but the person he talks to harasses a lot of people and doxes a lot of people. So I'm sure he's not blind to that. I was gonna say that you are the nicest person on the universe outside of death. Why anyone block? Oh, thank you, Metal. Yeah, like I said, I was surprised because I didn't think he'd block me over a political debate, and turns out he didn't. It just happened. That was our last discussion we had when he blocked me. But yeah, it's a guilt by association type thing, I guess. He's seen me talking or friendly with people who aren't nice to him or something. So, he even said in a chat after, like, recently, he's like, Nick seems like a decent guy. But anyway, that's why I think, like, if we talked it would be different. Oh, thank you, Vagina Wrinkle. Yeah, I try, like, the ball busting. I'm all down with, as long as it's a good natured. Like, I even play along, like, I think that's how I don't think I've totally won Mr. Z over, but I think part of it is I just kind of played into what he was saying. I don't get why people get mad when people say shit about them that's not true. If it's not true, just have fun with, as long as it's not crazy. You know what I mean? Like I'm the lib, right? The liberal, the progressive, and the Dabbleverse, who's always talking about working class issues. So, Mr. Z and others would joke about me being on welfare or having a debit card or EBT card, and those things aren't true. But since they're not true, it doesn't bother me. So I just joke about it and play into it. It's like, since it's not true, I don't know why you would get mad if someone said something like that, inconsequential, that wasn't true about you. Just have fucking fun with. Yeah, I'm a communist, right? All that shit, right? I almost forgot. Yeah. So just don't get all mad and just bust balls back, and it's fine, Yeah, with the doxing, I'm not down with 100, and I know people have. I've been in chats where people have said the final boss's real name and shit like that. I've missed most of the really bad shit, thankfully, but I have seen that. But I've also heard that he's done a lot of that shit too. And just because you've been doxxed, it doesn't give you the excuse to dox somebody else. Like, how that feels. So you should, like, it's happened to me. I would never do it to somebody else, and I don't even, like I said, I don't even mind. I have no problem if anyone fucking knows what I look like or knows my fucking name. It's that they were harassing my family and friends and and my employer. Like, that's why I got to do this stupid shit. I don't really care. I'm a very average looking dude. It's not, you're going to get nothing out of it. Oh, I'm not super handsome and I'm not super ugly, so you're not gonna get anything out of seeing what I look like. Look like the average when guy my age looks like, you know. So, uh, yeah, I got a name. I admit that I'm not rich. I admit that I'm working class, you know. So I'm not. It's not like I'm bragging about being wealthy or successful. I'm not. I'm open about that. So there's not much to find out. It's like I said, just that they think it's fun to harass, you know, call your wife dozens of times and leave threatening messages and shit like that. It sucks. So that's why, you know, I only dox when someone hacks. So yeah, I mean, if someone hacks you and shit, like even me, like if I ever found out the true identity of the guys that did this to me, it would be very tempting to do something. What I don't know, but I would love to be able to tell them that I know who they are. So hey, don't fuck around with anybody. Um, you know, or else blah blah blah. You know, that's probably what I would do. Um, but yeah, that's the most frustrating part is you don't know who the fuck these guys are. So there's nothing you can do. It's like, you know, I've been places where some drunk asshole has been like rude or to my wife or kids or something, and at least I can get in that fucking drunk asshole's face. You know, I can do something about it. I can't do anything about this, so it's frustrating when it happens. So that's why I just ignore those fucking people now. They want the attention. Something I found out the hard way because I gave them the attention. Whenever they would threaten me, I would, you know, telling me to shut up. I would not shut up. I would just get right back in their face and blah blah blah. Yeah, Dustin. Oh my god. Here's the irony. Like I would like someday to go over um the whole John thing with there's a not a good story, but it's interesting. I Vagina Wrinkle might remember when Clay when it was like a four-man thing when me and Clay were fighting with John and a certain baseball player who will be nameless. Um, like that went on for like weeks, if not a month. It reminded me. I told someone it reminded me like when you would watch like an old '90s sitcom. There was the main plot, but then there was always this little side plot going on. There was for me, Clay, John, and this baseball player. That was like the side plot to John's show for like weeks. Like, sure, he was whoever he's fighting with Shuli, he's fighting with Chad, he's fighting with Lady K. That was always the main story. But the little side plot was always like me, Clay, and this baseball player, and John. So I would put out videos at the time. I didn't really even have this YouTube channel. I never went live. I would just make videos trying to explain what was going on. I still have them. I just they're listed as I took them down or I have them as private. I forget what it is. But yeah, I still have them. Yeah. So I would love to go over that sometime. I just don't know the best way to do it because I don't want to stir up like I don't want to go over all of it. Like I don't want to go over the assholes who yeah, he left Mr. Z. I actually the reason I don't talk about him, he was a big enemy of mine for a while. But we kind of made a truce and so I don't talk about him anymore. He admitted to some of the things he did. And he says that he was given bad information on me and he realizes his bit like a lot of shit was done to him and I know it was and he was told that I was the one doing it, which I was not, you know. So he kind of figured that out. So yeah, he left. He left after that. I forget her name. Tracy Jane. This blonde went on MLC and spilled the tea on him to KB, and then he left. I'm trying to remember. I still don't know. My guess is he might have been married or had a girlfriend. So it wasn't good that Tracy it came out he was flirting with this woman and shit. So he left. But I talked to him after he left. He reached out to somebody else who reached out to me. He wanted that person to give me his phone number. I'm guessing it's not his real number. It's probably one of those, you know, Google numbers or whatever. But wanted me to have his number to call him because he wanted to talk to squash it. And I'm like, I don't want this guy's number because this guy accused me of like releasing an old address and shit of his, which I never did. So I was like, if this number gets out, I don't want to be blamed for it. So I rejected it twice. Finally, I agreed to DM with the guy and we squashed it. And I have He apologized for what he did. Claims he didn't do the really bad stuff, and I actually believe him because I think I know who may have done the really bad stuff. They seem to fit the profile. At one point, I thought it was him, which I thought was absurd. I couldn't imagine a former baseball player calling my wife, and thankfully he didn't. I totally don't think he did. But I think someone else did that. But yeah, that's the rumor that people thought Permaseal was him. I don't think it is either. But like that's the thing when you're a big spender. I don't know I still don't know what's up with MSIP, but if he's really gone or not. And if he's really gone, then I feel fucked up even bringing this up. But if he's not gone, we all know he's a big membership. Like if all of a sudden somebody we never heard of is buying 20 Catalano TV memberships, people might think that's him, just like people thought Permaseal was that baseball player. So it's when you have a pattern, when you do certain things, it's tough to if you disappear, it's tough to come back as somebody else. So you literally have to be someone that didn't really have like a pattern, I don't know. We all have a digital thumbprint, finger, whatever you want to call it these days. So if someone starts acting like that baseball player did, then it could be him. Just like if someone starts acting like MSIP, it could be him. You never know. Even when I left, I still spied. Because I wanted to see if the doxing shit was still happening. So I took down my accounts, but I had a sock account I would kind of spy with, and I only told 2 people. I told Vagina Wrinkle and I told Eckle Pineapple what my sock account was, because they were kind of like the only 2 people I was talking to. And if I wanted to get messages out to other people, I would just tell them. I was keeping it small. But I didn't think it'd be right if they didn't know that account was mine, because I didn't feel weird. I felt weird talking to them, and they think they're talking to a stranger or a new guy when really they're talking to me. It's kind of like spying on your friends. So I told them pretty quickly it was me. And I just did I didn't super chat. I did nothing. I didn't do any of my old stuff. So that's kind of how you got to lay low. If you do leave and come back, you can't keep doing the same shit you were doing before. No one should donate to Joey C. The man's an absolute crook. Rocco Show and his idea to support runaway kids through his podcasting sounded absolutely unhinged. Jeez, I can't even keep up with Joey's shit. Joey's all over the fucking map. I think I kind of told the story. How when Eckle Pineapple was going to interview Lou the God, Lou the Monster, whatever you want to call him, Joey's co-host, I reached out to Joey, ironically, and MSIP, because I knew he was friends with him, and I'm just gonna call him Mike. I don't know his real name, but I'm sick of saying MSIP. When I say Mike, I mean MSIP. So I reached out to Mike and Joey together in a chat, because Mike had wanted Joey to have me on like a year ago. I think he thinks the chemistry would be fun. It's probably because 2 guys who can't enunciate in their regional accents. That's my theory. 2 Italian guys with regional accents who can't properly talk. But I reached out because I thought it'd be funny if me and Joey sniped Pineapple and Lou without Pineapple and Lou even knowing ahead of time. But that got shot down. But Joey was like, Mike was like, you should really have him on. Joey's like, I'll definitely have him on. This is what I'm doing. I'm not coming back till August or September. Come September, I'm doing Mob Mondays and Wrigley Wednesdays. You can come on a Wrigley Wednesday and we'll talk Cubs and Red Sox. And then we'll also do a special show on substance abuse and getting sober. And now it's like the dude's doing Adderall on stream. I think he fired Lou again. He's come back. He's not doing any of the shit he told me he was going to be doing. This was just weeks ago he said this to me. and it's all out the window. I even reached out after the MSIP incident because I was like, hey, Mike wanted us to do something together. Instead of waiting until September, why don't we fucking do it now? Do it next week. It's stupid, but it's almost like a little tribute thing because it's one of the things he wanted. And I'm like, and I know people like Vagina Wrinkle and Noga Chaser and his close friends are hurting, and you're hurting, Joey. So we'll have a little fun. But he sent me a one sentence text that I literally cannot make out. I think it's a no, but holy shit, I have no idea what he said. But yeah, Joey's all over the place. I don't know what he's doing. And if you want to work with him, you got to give him all your info, including like a credit card, and certain percentage goes to some fucking charity, and you got to fucking trust that Joey's going to give it to the charity. So I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Yes, Mr. Z. So this is what's funny. When I get messages from Joey, I always know when they're from Joey and when they're from Uncle Bob or whatever he calls that fucking AI thing. Because Uncle Bob writes too perfect, and Joey's like like even I'm bad. I text so quickly, and a lot of times if I'm in a rush, I don't double check it, and it can be a mess. But you can figure out what I meant to say. And usually I can figure out what Joey said. I have no fucking idea. You know what, dude? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, because usually I don't share private conversations, but this is nothing important, and I'm gonna paste in the chat what Joey said to me. And mind you, all I was asking is if hey, you want to do a show before September? It's kind of like a tribute or not type of thing. And this is what. Hold on, I'm too afraid that I was gonna share the DM screen, but I'm too afraid. People always talk shit that way. I'm just gonna copy and paste because it's literally like a one sentence, very short sentence. All right, I copied. This is gonna be what he said to me. Yep. Here we go. Nick, I'm guessing that word's supposed to be are, and it can't accept that a fact to start. I don't know what that is. That is word for word, letter for letter, what he said to me. Like I said, Nick and we are good. The third word, I'm guessing you just fat fingered the Q, and it's R. Then you got, but that makes sense. Nick, we are, and it can't September that a fact to start. I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to say. I didn't even respond. But yeah, that's what I got. Oh shit. So yeah, like I do that shit sometimes too, but like I said, you can make out what I said. You can figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I famously, when I type the word just, I don't fucking know why, but my brain, obviously I know how to spell just, Just. But so many times if anyone gets a just from me, it's fucking JSUT. Like the U and the S gets fucking swapped with my fucking fingers and shit like that. But you know what I'm trying to say. This one I even can make out some words, but it doesn't make any sense. So I took it as a no. I took it as he's saying we'll do it in September. But like I said, if he's still doing Adderall, number one, I don't know what a guy with a bad heart is doing on Adderall anyway. I'm for the first time in my life, I've not a super scare, but I got shit going on possibly with my heart. I'm afraid to I cut down on the coffee I was drinking. Joey's fucking doing Adderall. It's like, Jesus, bruh. All right. He's typing with his good foot. Oh man. All right. Sorry. I've just been talking about nothing for almost 30 minutes here. So yeah, all I had planned was some rants on some of the hypocrisy and phoniness I've been seeing. And I was, as I said, I was gonna show Ava and I on at the very end when we were on Schmiel, but you needed to see the chat and you can't see it. So I'll just explain it. So towards the end, we're talking politics and this and that. And I the big difference between Schmiel and I is Schmiel seems to think that politicians go in it with good intentions. Now, maybe some of the young ones do. I do believe that. Like, I mean, Obama ended up being a piece of shit owned by the billionaires in Wall Street. But when he was young, he was an activist. So maybe when he first got into politics, he meant well, but he just got, sold, bought and sold like everybody else. But Schmiel takes it a step further, and he thinks that a lot of times these politicians think these bills they're doing are actually going to work, or they're actually trying to get bills passed. And I'm like, Schmiel, they're owned by Wall Street, they're owned by corporations, they're owned by billionaires. They pass what they want to get passed, which is why the military budget always goes up, which is why they cut shit to, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security sometimes, which is why the tax cuts for the rich always go through, and then the shit they're supposed to help the regular people, that just doesn't go through. What's going on, Def? Good to see you. So yeah, I'm trying to explain that politicians are bought, so they intentionally fail at passing certain bills. They won't put certain things in bills. Schmiel doesn't think that they're bought by the billionaires or corporations. I don't know. So that's where we were at an impasse. So anyway, I was explaining how we were talking about Social Security, and I was saying that I think the cap needs to be raised. Now, for those that don't know, we pay, I think it's 6.5% we pay towards Social Security, or 6.5% of our income, our paycheck. And then there's a threshold. Once you hit if suppose you make tons of money and you end up paying I'll look up what the number is. It's over $100,000. But once you hit that, you stop paying. So billionaires stop paying for Social Security very early in the year because they hit the cap. And so if we really want to keep Social Security going, then we need to raise the cap. So billionaires pay, more. And I don't think it's a big deal. They can afford it. And anyway, while I was explaining that, I literally said they need to pay what we pay. And Dr. Chow in the chat said for me to stop saying we, say me. Like, and so he was going after me for grouping us all together politically, but that's not what I was doing. If you work, if you get a paycheck, we all pay the same percentage in the Social Security. Now, we may pay different amounts because we make different amounts, but I was saying we all should pay. So it wasn't like I was grouping everyone together. I was saying, like, all right, if Dr. Chow doesn't work, doesn't get a paycheck, then fine, he's not paying into it. But I'm talking about all the workers. So he was trying to get me on the we. Then there was a fucking second we in there where I was like, we allow billionaires to buy our politicians, and he's like, stop saying we. And I'm just saying we as a society. So he was nitpicking, like, if you have a problem with my policies, 100%, but don't nitpick on this fucking we shit when you're just gonna say we all the fucking time too. And then it ended with some insulting name. I could care less. But then he goes, guys like you, just get a better job and shut up and blah blah blah. Higher paying job. It's your own fault. Blah blah blah. So that's what sucks when you're like and this is the only political part I'm going to do on the show. But when you're like an economic populist, it's like everyone thinks you're just crying about, not making enough or whatever. It's like, look, man, I've worked the same two jobs for 20 something years. Now, I think we can all agree over the past 5 years or whatever with inflation, shit has fucking skyrocketed. Grocery prices, rent, if you're a renter, I don't know about mortgages and shit like that, but utilities, holy shit, gas and electric, it's gone through the roof. I worked these two jobs 5 years ago and we have some spending money. We could go on vacations and this and that. Now we really can't because things are fucking super tight. But I still make more than the average fucking renter in my state. So I'm not crying about me in particular. I'm talking about everybody. I actually have good health insurance through my employer. So when I'm pushing for universal health care, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about everybody. So the reason I like to talk about these things is I think I go against the liberal stereotype, which, Mr. Z and others bring up. Like usually you think you're lazy, you don't work, you're on welfare, you're on fucking EBT. That's not me, man. Like I said, I've worked the same. I have a full time job with at least 40 hours every week. Sometimes we get overtime. Then I have the part time job, landscaping. I've had to cut back on that recently because of health issues, but that's the only reason. That's why I've been doing more podcasting lately because I've been landscaping a lot less. Got a doctor's appointment next week, so hopefully we can fucking start to put this shit to bed and I can get back out there. But yeah, I'm not. There are people way worse off than me. So that's who I'm fighting for, and all of us. Because if you take care of them, it all trickles. We should all be fine. That's what I'm saying. So I hate when these people will be like, just get. It happens all the time when I have these discussions. Just get a better job. Blah 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 blah. But then I see them being friends with people in the Dabbleverse who I know what they do for a living, and I'm sure I make a little more than them, and that's fine. I don't care, but it's like, but they don't say shit to that person, and I don't want them to. But it's just like he doesn't like me for something. He doesn't like my political views. So take a shit. Stop telling people if somebody works 40 hours a week, then they should be able to survive. That's just how I feel. Stop telling them they need to get a different because we all can't get better paying jobs. There's only fucking so many. It's like the notion if you gave everybody $1 billion, then $1 billion would mean nothing. So if we all got better jobs, then everything would just go up anyway. So, I don't know. It's a nitpick of mine. People in the Dabbleverse care too much what other people make for money, and they'll protect their boys, but shit on the other people, and it drives me nuts. Just a little beef I had because I had no problem with Chow, and but that one with the job thing comes up a lot, so drives me nuts. All right, I think I had a clip I wanted to play. Let me see if I can find it. I because of this grocery store fucking thing, I kind of just went live before I had set everything up. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Nah. I was like, maybe I'll snipe Schmiel, but I don't want to do that. Oh, I did. I won't say anything yet, but I did get a invite onto another show. I believe it'll be next week, so I will. Whenever that happens, I will announce. But it's one of the. It's not one of the. I'm not talking TSN or WATP or MLC or anything, but it's one of the the shows below that. So it's a lot bigger than my show, and I love the pineapple, but it's bigger than his show, so it should be good. What do we got? Is the clip about Chad's death pool? Fucking Chad. Yeah, let's fucking. That wasn't it, but let's fucking watch that. Because I can't remember the fucking clip I wanted to watch. I had two things I wanted to watch. One of them no longer existed, and now I can't fucking remember what the other one was. Yeah, because this Chad is a fucking huge hypocrite. This fucking guy. It sucked. I tried liking Chad. Around the time when he had turned things around, he actually got semi entertaining for a little bit. Was it earlier this year or the end of last year? I forget, but he's back to just he's got to be fucking beefing with people all the time. He's always he's the other type where he cries if anyone fucks with his gig or he claims or fucks with his income or his show, but he has no problem calling comedy clubs on fucking other people and fucking with their income and threatening to show up at their fucking thing. Fucking drives me nuts. I was shocked but surprised when Clearwater Chad fucking trolled him like that. I didn't think Clearwater had it in him, but he did. Let's see. No, not Deadpool, Deathpool. He's promising a refund now. All right, this isn't the one, but I'll play this real quick. Let's see. got like a 20-second clip from just an hour ago. See what Chad's gonna say. Yeah, man. There's so many disappointing people in this fucking thing. Yeah. No, he's a death pool super fucked up, but he doesn't. Yeah, that's the part I didn't even know that till recently. I thought he took people's money and then just fucking ended the pool. I didn't even realize he didn't even fucking pay a fucking payout. I mean, that shit's got to be fucking illegal. I mean, I'm nine. Yeah, I know it's illegal. It's just a matter of like, how do you? Gambling's not legal, so I don't know how you do it. But yeah, let's watch this real quick before I can get to the good one.
I made like $137 off of it.
Yeah, but where'd the $500 come from?
It was. I just said I'll give out $500 of my own money.
Oh, but now you won't because they said it was illegal.
Yeah, and I was just fucking around. I was trying to create content, and then
trying to do a show.
Yeah.
Chad did the right thing. He ended the pool and kept the money. And don't anyone
I'll refund everybody.
Care about him dying.
I have no problem refunding people, but you can't lie about it either.
Do you guys think he's gonna refund? I'm guessing no fucking chance. Like I mean, he probably doesn't even have the fucking money anymore. Jesus. No, don't worry about it. Like I said, this is my least planned out show I've ever fucking done. I had a couple ideas this morning. One of them shit the bed. And then I noticed like there were certain things on X and on YouTube that were pissing me off because of it was hypocrisy and fucking phony. And then when I go live, it's like I didn't bother to like clip any of it. Besides, now I can't fucking remember what the shit was I even wanted to fucking talk about. Jesus. Oh, you're going live? Nice. Deft will be going live tomorrow. Make sure you fucking watch. Deft. You never know. You never know when Deft's gonna go fucking viral in this Dabbleverse. He's got that awesome personality. You never fucking know. Eckel and I had that conversation once. And it was actually recently. We have a bet which one of so I've been clipped by Def, so I guess technically I won, but I think he means by like the by either so thorough Joe Burrow, Stallion 19, or Doom. How they kind of clip the big names, and the only way big name doesn't get clipped is you have to do something like, you know, you got to act like you got to go fucking crazy. You got to act like Karmic did, cry, or like Karmic and Joey did, or fucking scream at fucking people. And Eckel and I are just too calm, too so it's like it's never gonna happen. And he said for sure it's gonna happen to me first because I don't know, he claims I fly off the handle sometimes, and I probably do more than him, but I don't really like I think the only time I really kind of, and it's not a flip out, it was actually I'll find that next. When Def clipped me a while back, Eckel found my pressure point. I get frustrated again with this fucking bullshit, this fucking phoniness and absurdity, and it was over Elon. Elon is huge. I don't want to say what's that word. Shit, I can't think. When you're it's kind of making fun of people. Triggered. I am not easily triggered, but Elon and his fucking bullshit. Acting like he's trying to save this country when really he's just he's just trying to fucking make his fucking bank account even fucking bigger and his power even more outreaching. And then he acts like he's such a great immigrant, cares about this fucking country. And Echo was pushing me on that, and I finally snapped. Let's see if I can find it. I forget how long ago it was. It was definitely over a month ago. Yeah, and I went on an anti-immigrant, borderline Nazi fucking rant against Mr. Elon Musk. Fuck. Look at the prep. This is like John's old show. Let's see what's on Dabblers Anonymous. Let's see what's on fucking Shuli's Anonymous. Let's see what's on. Yeah, you know what I did? I told Vagina Wrinkle I did this. I think I told Deft I was thinking of doing this. I messaged, I won't even name names, but I messaged a few of Stuttering John's like supporters, like how they try to get certain guys. Obviously Clay's one of them. I'll just name Clay, but there were a few others. They try and get him on Point Double Point, and he never goes on. I tried to get Clay to go on. I'd be like, dude, it'd be fucking awesome if you went on, man. And I'm like, I don't think they'd fuck with you. And like, I mean, John might get mad at you. I don't fucking know. But he was like, yeah, he's like, I wouldn't have fun, and I don't want to do anything because I don't like Shuli. So I'm like, I get that, man. If you don't like Shuli, if you're not gonna have fun, don't fucking do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I miss Clay too. I talked to him this morning or this afternoon. Oh, I missed this one. Thank you, Vagina Wrinkle. Yeah, me and Def, we talk off and on. So I was actually, you know what, I'll do this later tonight. I was gonna put out a poll on something that people might want to see Deft and I do, and I was gonna put like 4 options, and if any one of them gets a decent amount of votes, and we'll cover it. I had 2 ideas. I just needed like 2 more. But yeah, I talked to Clay this one. So anyway, I asked these guys if they wanted to come on my channel to do like a Point Dabble Point with John. And I was like, look, I get it. My channel's fucking tiny. And obviously Point Dabble Point is one of the biggest shows in the Dabbleverse. So if you turn down that show, why the fuck should you do mine? And I was like, a few reasons. I was like, number one, everyone wants to see you guys talk about John. So if you do it, and everyone will watch, or it'll get clipped anyway. It'll get coverage. Like, I mean, Cardiff's shown up in my channel once. Fucking Adam Bush has been here. He's actually clipped this channel for WATP, as small as it is. So it's like it's not like it has no eyes on it. And if they find out Clay and these other guys are coming on to talk about John, I think people would watch, or at the very least, it would get clipped and covered by the bigger shows later. And I was like, John will be much less upset that you came on my show than obviously if you go on Shuli's show or Lady K's show. He might be pissed off. I don't think he has a right to be, but he might be pissed off when he gets back. We know how John is. I was like, yeah, John is not a fan of mine, but I didn't do anything to John, really. He did shit to me. And I was like, John's big issues seem to be people doxing him or trashing his family. I'm like, I did none of that. In fact, I defended his family, so I don't think he'd be mad. And then I was like, thirdly, what I tried to sell them on is like, if you turn down, Point Dabble Point, but then you came on my tiny ass show, it'd probably tick him off a little bit. So if you really wanted to piss Shuli off, there's a way for you. I knew. I got 2 no's, no thank yous, and I'm waiting on the third person. So not looking good, but yeah, Clay, I didn't think Clay would do it. And he was very polite, but he doesn't want to do any other shows. And the other person I've never seen them on a show. I don't think they're like doing shows anyway, so I didn't expect them. The person that said they let me know later, they're the one I had the most hope for, so we'll see. But at the most, I would just have 1 at this point. Then I'd have to get some other people. I would invite Deft if he was interested. There may be some anti-John people, and we could have a very civil discussion on it. I'm trying to figure out a way to talk about John without bringing back the fucking trolls and the harassment and shit. Because I do find it all fucking interesting. All right. I will now show one of 2 times I was ever clipped to my knowledge. This was the only time it was actually me. I am in a Doom clip only because he clipped Rob Saul, and I happened to be Rob's guest at the time, so I was on it. But this was me a while back. When was this? At least 2 months ago, maybe more than 2 months ago. Oh, and I look fucking Asian. Fucking oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, when I was on Eccles show. Oh, we're doing a members only show here. That's right. Oh, we're talking about Bill Burr. That's right. This was a fun show actually. Um, it's one of the membership shows are the only time that Echo lets me have any fucking input. The rest of it's a control freak structures like crazy. But yeah, the when we do oh shit, what the fuck's the name? Oh, when we do Between Two Hacks, obviously that's all him picking everything. I used to pick some of the clips, but now he picks them all. But on the members only show, I get some input. So Eckel and I have had some off-air discussions about Bill Burr because he was a big fan. I still am a big fan, and we kind of debated whether Bill Burr has changed or not. So that's what this show is about. And somehow Elon came up, and Eckel got me to fucking snap a little bit, and I said the following. Now this will obviously be out of context with some of Def's creative editing. He put this together real quick. We hadn't even finished the fucking show, I don't think, by the time he put this together. But yeah, here was my major clip debut. You should just go back to Africa. Matt, you should just go back to Africa. Matt,
No, you did. You went. Oh, oh my god. You
you should just go back to Africa. Hey, America first. Am I wrong? No, I'm serious. America first. Get this fucking African immigrant out of my country. Go back to South Africa. Bye, Elon. Get this fucking African immigrant out of my country. That was good fun. That was a some great editing there by Mr. Deft. Some great out of context shit. That was Nick's body double the Asian one. I know. Fucking, I'm all fucking squinty eyed in that one. Jesus Christ. It's funny. It's even in my drug days. I was never even a weed guy, so I usually don't get like that. Yeah, I forget what we were fighting about, but Eckel triggered me by defending Elon, and I fucking snapped. And I think he made a second one too. It's the same shit of me doing the salute, but he put it to Kanye's fucking Hitler song or whatever. So, and then yeah, like I said, the only other time I'm in a clip is I was on Rob Saul. I thought Rob had this big announcement, and he was hoping to be a clipper in the chat. So I summoned the clipper, and it was had to do when he was fighting with Chad, and Chad was going to show up at his work, and his announcement ended up kind of being a dud. I forget what it was, saying he just wasn't going to work that day or something. But Doom still clipped it. And I remember I was sick as a dog, so my voice doesn't even fucking sound like it's like super, even deeper than it is now, super deep and fucking grovelly. And I'm like, oh, but yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I don't think I'll ever get clipped again unless Eckel gets me to fucking lose it, or I have on a political guest that gets me the fucking snap. That happens. It happens sometimes to me politically. I pride myself on keeping my cool during political debates, but sometimes I lose it. But my co-host Liquid Cryptid is very calm, and I like the guy, so I don't really snap on him. So even when we disagree, it's nothing. I may raise my voice and be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" But it's nothing like clip worthy. Ooh, okay, sweet. So I have an announcement from my little audience here. It looks like I will be on make my BYB debut next week. I believe it'll be Monday, but I'll let you know for sure. So, yeah, looking forward to that because Quad and I'm guessing, you know what, Dabbleverse wise, we might agree on a lot of shit. Now that I think about it, I know certain things we disagree on, but politically, obviously, we disagree greatly. But I'm guessing this is just going to be a Dabbleverse show, so that shit probably won't even come up. But yeah, I'll finally be I think the last of Eccles tribe to finally make it on that show. I know Def's been on there. Spurgy's been on there. Eccles been on there. Obviously, fucking Rochi is always on there, and I'm guessing NJ Ranger's been on there. So I'll be the last. And I'll take Quad's. I'll take his word for it that he thinks I'm doing good work, and it's not because Eccles on vacation. I'm probably taking his spot, but no, I appreciate reaching out. So I believe it'll be Monday, but I'll let everyone know. So good times. All right, let me see. Let me do one last thing at least before I. Oh, Vagina Wrinkle, you're crazy. I wish I had a good voice. I fucking hate this voice. It sounds so much better in my fucking head, but then when you know how your voice, I'm sure I'm not the only one. My voice doesn't sound to me like it sounds like in real life. It sounds okay to me, but then when I listen back, it always sounds way more fucking dull and monotone, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. I try and act all excited, and it still fucking doesn't work. I just don't have it. Now I'm gonna cry. Someone can clip it. I'm gonna fucking cry. I just don't have it. All right. What was one last fucking thing of phoniness I wanted to show? All right. I think you just think I'm a nice guy, so you give me a pass on the voice, but I'll take the nice guy thing over a good voice any day. So thank you either way, Vagina Wrinkle. You know what? Let's have a speaking of phoniness, let's have a borderline could be uncomfortable conversation, but fuck it. All right. God. MSIP. If I'm wrong and you're not alive, I'm gonna feel like the biggest shit. So I just want to put this fucking disclaimer. If I'm wrong, I apologize to him and his family. But far as I know, we still haven't got significant proof yet. So if it turns out that MSIP, if this is a work or whatever it is, do you guys think it was Joey's idea? Or do you guys think it would have been MSIP's idea? Because I've had this talk with Eckel, and I can say this because I know he said this publicly. He thinks if this ends up being a work, that it would have been MSIP's idea and Joey just went along with it. I think it's the opposite if it ends up being a work. Yeah, thank you, John. Like, there's so many, and we kind of went over it the night it was announced. I just happened to go live that night, so we talked about it. Then we went over Joey's video, and then Eckel went over it, and it's the same shit. Like, it's very, the fact that it was just an hour earlier is one of the biggest things to me that makes me question it. Like I said, when someone dies, you don't even, you haven't even gotten a hold of all the family within an hour. You know what I mean? You're still calling family and friends for at least multiple hours. You're not calling someone from the Dabbleverse. Like I said, if I pass, maybe my wife would get a hold of Eckel maybe like within a couple days. I don't think, definitely not within an hour. Two, very suspicious that it happened to take place while Joey was live streaming. He'd been live streaming for like 20 minutes, and all of a sudden there's a call. Like, he live streamed for 1 hour, and the other 23 hours it didn't happened during that spot. I think it was acting. I'm gonna feel like a fucking asshole if it wasn't, But I noticed even too, Joey looked up at the camera and then started doing this, almost like on cue. Then he took himself off camera. And then the weird one that I've noticed, Eckel noticed. I don't know if any of you guys and Rochi's noticed, and probably some other people. There's one point where Joey starts doing like what ifs. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody was messing with him in chat, and then all of a sudden Lou says something and it just gets cut off. But it was almost like if he was going to do this, if he was going to fake this, it probably would be because somebody was messing with him. And we know somebody was. I don't know if that was enough reason for him to do it. So maybe there's another reason. I don't know. But it was almost like Joey was giving out disclaimers in case it's not true. Joey even said something like, all I know is it was his phone number and it was a female, and saying it was his girlfriend. So if it comes out that he was tricked, I don't know. It seems like he's trying to set up stuff in case it turns out not being true. He doesn't get blamed for it. And then the other weird thing is Joey saying, I have to take this. It's an important call. But then acting like he was shocked by it. Like, I had no idea. I don't even know what happened. I think he must have been sick or something. So that one is massive for me. Like, if it was just MSIP and he calls you every day, you're not thinking it's important. You think he's just fucking calling you. So yeah, there's just too much weird shit. And the fact that no one's been able to confirm it. I mean, we're going on what? It's going to be like it's going to be a week. It's going to be like a week tomorrow, something like that. And as far as I know, no one's like, I don't know his real name, but some people do. And no one's seen an obituary that I know of. I don't know. It's very, very odd. And then Joey's already faked a fucking coma. He's faked a fucking hurricane flood fucking retreat to somewhere else. I believe he's faked a heart attack. I think he's had a real one, but I think he's even faked one of them. I could be wrong, but he's faked a lot of this shit. And I don't know if it was his idea, if it ends up being fake or not. Yeah, it's fucking very odd. But the obituary one's another big one. And I think even on Eckel's show, now I obviously have no proof of this because I don't know, but there was an account that super chatted, and they think it was one of Mike's sock accounts or MSIP, whatever the fuck his name is, one of his sock accounts. Obviously I don't know his sock account, so I don't know, but Eckel and Rochi seem to think it was. So yeah, I don't know. If too many people know his backup shit, you know what I mean? It's gonna be fucking hard for him to do this. Let me see. Crazy MSIP has to be trolling. No, Joey's the worst person to break a story. Yeah, if I had to pick, I think it's a work. I don't know if it's to get away from that asshole on X or if there were other reasons. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have proof. If something comes out where he's gone, I will feel like the biggest fucking prick. And I know I'm not alone. I know Eckel and Rochi have said the same thing. It just doesn't add up to me though. I put it at like, I don't even know where I put it at first. I probably had it. I was suspicious from the start, to be honest with you. But I'm even more suspicious now. So let's see. Very odd. I talked to the guy daily, never heard he was sick. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That was the other thing. Maybe I'll chat about me or so there's another one. Another alt account. His maybe alt account. Okay. So there might be another alt. But no, Regina Wrinkle reminded me how he reached out to Eckel, MSIP, saying he had an accident at work, bad accident at work, had to have surgery, and only had a 5% chance of making it. So if I don't make it, good on you, buddy. Good luck to you. Blah blah blah. That one's very odd to me too. Now I nitpicked the 5% thing. Somebody even said they Googled and doctors. Now, obviously, a doctor can say whatever. So I'm not even going to say a doctor wouldn't say that 5%. But I believe they usually say you have less than 10% chance. Like that's what happened with one of my loved ones. They had it, and miraculously, knock on wood, they made it. But they had less than 10%. That's what they said. They didn't say 5. But what's even weirder is that he messaged Eckel that, but didn't message someone like Vagina Wrinkle. Like Eckel's friends with the guy, but not like even Dabbleverse wise. Sure, friendlier with him than most, but not like he was friends with Joey, not like he was friends with Vagina Wrinkle. I know he's very close to Noga Chaser, and I'm sure there's others that I don't even know. But yeah, he tells Eckel this, doesn't tell them, but then it turns into like an illness or something. It wasn't even an accident. According to Joey, he had been sick. So I don't know. There's too many stories. It's not all adding up. I don't know if we'll ever know for sure. Because like the only way we can know for sure is if two ways. If he comes out of hiding, or it's the other way and we see an obituary and we're like, holy shit, it did happen. But if this is a fake thing and we don't see an obituary, then I don't know how I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is I would not be shocked if Joey slips up at some point. Like if he's all right, if MSIP is still alive and he's still talking with Joey, like like Joey said he would call him every day and tell him when to take his medicine. If he's still doing that shit, Joey might slip up on stream and be like, yeah, Mike shitty internet provider called me last night, or when I was talking to Mike last night. And that's what's tough. If he's still around and they're still having, if they're still going to have the communication they had before, you might slip up. It's not an easy thing to pull off, I'm guessing. I don't know. So I'll end that segment like this. If I'm wrong, obviously I'm an asshole, and my condolences go out to MSIP, and found out at the end of Eckel's show that he has a kid. I didn't even know that. So oof. Obviously condolences. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, yeah, if I'm right, I'm just saying I totally get why someone would leave the Dabbleverse. I did it myself once. There are other ways to do it without doing this. You can, like I did. You just tell the people you're closest to, and then you bail. That's all you got to do. You don't have to fake a death. If that's what ends up fucking happening. Saying Joey needs to talk about it. He will. Yeah. If it happens, if it's I don't even want to say work. If it's a untrue thing, I think Joey will slip up. But we'll see. This is and that's just a general phoniness in the Dabbleverse where you can't even trust shit like this. You know what I mean? Well, TMB faked his death too. Oh, fine. Yeah, that's right. For like, I mean, Final Boss didn't take it this far, but he, yeah. Jesus. But he came back like right away. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just like I said, if he wants out for some reason, 100%. This is not like I left because it wasn't worth it. It was like, all right, this is what I do for fun. When I'm not doing shit with my family, it's not worth my family and employer and shit getting fucking harassed. So I'll dip out, till the fucking heat, goes down. I don't know. So here's what's funny. I heard somebody, I think it was Mr. Doodle. So I don't know. I love the guy, but that he told me that MSIP was going hard on that 0.0 guy. I always thought I would see 0.0 going hard on Paterno and then just kind of bickering with MSIP. So I don't know if, unless there's shit going on I didn't outside of X that I obviously don't know about. I almost, it almost to me it looked like MSIP was having fun with that fucking with that guy. I don't know. I know Paterno was going through hell, but I don't know. Maybe he was just acting tough on X, like he was enjoying it. And maybe he wasn't. I have no idea. I guess you never know what someone's really thinking, really going through. And yeah, if this shit starts messing with your real life, it's 100% not worth it. But you make friends along the way, at least you don't want them worrying about you and your fucking family and shit. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, so I 100% vagina wrinkle. I know 0.0 goes. To me, what was weird is that's how I saw it. 0.0 going hard. Doodle was trying to tell me that MSIP was going hard on 0.0 when I always saw it the other way around. But I don't know. Maybe Doodle just misworded it to me. But yeah, I always. I mean, not that I would just see shit every so often because it would end up in my shit. Like actually 0.0 hadn't commented on anything of mine in a while, and now he's kind of doing it again. But what started it is before MSIP left. I guess 0.0 is a big fan of Riley. What the fuck is her name? That swimmer. Shit. The swimmer that tied for 5th with a trans swimmer. I'll just type in Riley and hopefully it'll come up. I'm blanking on her name. Riley Gaines. He was a huge fan of hers. And I had, being my political self, I had kind of, yes, Riley Gaines. Thank you, Skinny Chad. I kind of criticized Riley Gaines on X. So here's my thing, just quick on that, so we don't have to get all political. And someone that's friends with Ava, I can tell you Ava agrees, yes, trans females have an advantage. No problem if once you get to the high school, college level, whatever, if there's going to be certain rules, fine. I just think it's overblown issue that people use as like an excuse because people usually don't really care about female sports. Anyway, what I hated about Riley Gaines is she tied for 5th with a trans swimmer. If that trans swimmer didn't exist, she still would have came in 5th. She just wouldn't have tied. She would have been in 5th all by herself. And somehow this turned into her being this big hero victim. She still got beat by 4 biological women. So she drives me nuts. Anyway, apparently 0.0 is a big fan of Riley Gaines. And so when I kind of said something shitting on her, MSIP made sure he saw it, to kind of like dig in his wounds, and then he started saying shit to me again. I just ignore the fucking dude, and he usually goes away in a day or two. I used to fight back, but that's what got me where it got me, so it wasn't fucking worth it. MSIP and what's his face? I would see them fight back a lot. Paterno. Actually, I haven't really seen Paterno talking to him ever since MSIP left, which very the whole thing is strange. I don't know what the fuck to think. Like I got harassing calls to my wife and I didn't think about faking my death to get out of it. If it turns out he faked his death to get out of some trolling, I don't know. I just don't know. And it just sucks as every day goes on. I poor vagina wrinkle. I'm always like, not every day, but I'll be like, any news? Did you find an obituary? Because but nope. So I don't fucking know. Usually an obituary comes out within a fucking day or two, and we're coming up on a week, so We'll see. We'll see. And then there's this, which I Ekel and I had this conversation when this first started. Um Suppose it turns out it was a work, then you're gonna put people in like if you finally come out and tell people, and then they can't tell. It's like I don't know. It's almost like he's gone. He's gone either way. But I just like to know if he's not that it's my business, but for his family's sake and everything, I think people would like to know if he's really gone or if he's just decided to leave the Dabbleverse or if he's unfortunately left this world. And you put people in a weird spot. If you're faking the shit, not as deep in the Dabbleverse as most, but even I need a yeah. You need a break sometimes, man, and I totally get that. I I remember there was a week where I had the flu or fucking pneumonia or something, so I was pretty much in bed for a week, and you know, even though I was sick, it was kind of like a nice break for the the Dabbleverse. Uh, it's a mixed place where there's lots of good people, but the people that aren't good, they're fucking toxic as fuck. It's way more good people than bad. But some of the bad, it's just like, I gotta wash this fucking toxic fucking fumes off me and fucking get out of here for a little bit. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you're getting. I have people messaging me sometimes, just because I said shit, and so I can't imagine how many people are messaging you, and Noga Chaser probably too. Yeah, just word to the wise. Anyone in the future, if you want to get out of the Dabbleverse, just go. If there's anyone you're close to, just tell them. Or just like, I mean, how many people have like, you just don't see their name anymore? You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden you be, hey, what the fuck ever happened to this person? What the fuck ever happened to that? Or all of a sudden they turn up in a fucking YouTube channel. You're like, holy shit, where have you been? You can just dip out. You know what I mean? And you just dip out, and then it'll take people a little while to realize you're not even around. Besides your close friends or whatever. But it would take a little while. Now this is, I don't know if this ends up being a work. Like people they'll never look at him or Joey. I mean, not that people trust Joey anyway, but it's actually be more of a hit for MSIP. I just come here for fun. I don't take it seriously. So when the HPS controversy broke, it was easy to just step away. That and I was legit busy at work, back to back 12-hour days. Yeah, man. What's funny? So where I work, my full-time job, I have like fucking cubicle, laptop, multiple Jesus Christ. I gotta get my fucking brain checked when I can't think of fucking regular fucking words. Multiple screens, whatever the fuck you want to call them, going because I need it for certain software or whatever. So I'm allowed to have YouTube or some other kind of or music streaming or whatever in the background while I'm working. So I usually go with YouTube, and a lot of times I would just listen to my political shows in the morning. I'm in the sports stuff and I go in different moods. I love true crime shit I'll listen to. But the Dabbleverse is also something I stumbled upon, and I would just listen to while I'm at work in the background. I think because I was into politics, I somehow and I would watch a little bit of WATP sometimes. The WATP episode where John went to Washington D.C. is what got me into the Dabbleverse, because you had Lady K running it, Shuli was there, fucking Kumia. So I started watching their shows. I was a huge Uncle Rico guy for a while when I first got in here. Found out one of my childhood friends, Shawnee, even had a show once on TSN. Then I even started watching John just to get the unedited shit. And that was give and take, good or bad. Sometimes it was boring, but sometimes it was entertaining. And yeah, that's how I got into it. And it was just for fun, and I'd bust balls and this and that. And then obviously I discovered John's political show, and I hated how he had 3 fucking blue no matter who Democrat fucking partisan hacks on there. So I just wanted to get on there, and that became my thing, trying to get on, and didn't happen. And then I moved on, and I made friends, and Eckel invited me on be a co-host, so I co-host one of his shows, and I finally just started my own political show since I couldn't get on John's. Now I started this secondary show because I love talking politics, but some also like talking other things. And I was finding when I'd be a guest on a show, not talking politics, I was enjoying myself even more than talk, because it's almost like a treat, like a dessert, whatever you want to call it. So it's like, I'll start a second show for interviews and just the non-political stuff, because obviously politics isn't for everybody. And I know people that just they thought they wouldn't like me because of my political views. So but then they grew to like me or realize they did like me. So I figure new people can hopefully find me here. Then find the political show if they're into politics, and if they're not, well, they got this, and I'll continue to do other stuff with other people. But I got to get some of these. I got so many people that agreed to interviews, but I have to like book specific times and dates. I haven't booked anybody. Like, obviously I'm gonna have Eckel on at some point. Ava obviously said she'd come on. Liquid Cryptid. Sure I can get my Jake Hudson if I wanted. I'll probably get Jake on again. I've interviewed him once, but not by myself. Then Rob Saul wants to come on, or said he'd come on. Bobby Fran. I got somebody else. So yeah, I got like 6-7 people, but I haven't booked any of them yet. So I want to start doing that, because I want to start doing more of that. I think it'd be kind of interesting to let people in the Dabbleverse, the host shows, and the people in the chat talk about whatever they want to talk about, instead of doing their shows, which is usually covering other people, shitting on them. All right. So the reason I put him as a maybe metal is you can't structure a show with Jake. What's funny with him? If you guys probably don't, but he has a group chat where he sends people the link, and then obviously the bigwigs he sends separately. But I'm in the regular chat, so every time he goes live, I get at least one link. Sometimes they'll send it to me in the privately too, so I always know when Jake's going live. So every so often I'll check it out. And when Jake is by himself, he just sits there in silence, and he might sing, he might go. He's like, I hope everybody's being safe. Like, when he's by himself, he's the quietest motherfucker. But you just get one person on, and pop, pop, pop. It's like, I try to tell him, like, Jake, you have so much to say. If you got no one on, just talk until you get somebody. But yeah, he's very talkative when there's somebody on, but he's quiet as fuck when he's by himself. Yeah, the reason he's a maybe is because I would want to do like an interview thing, and I'll probably get like 2 questions in, and he'll just be ranting and raving and all over the fucking place. Right now I'm slightly stepping away. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. I wouldn't even put this up. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, and I've had some real life shit going on too. Like I even last month or so, I took a week off, and then I wasn't, because of physical shit I was going through. I wasn't on on camera and shit. Sits in silence. Why can't? Yeah, man, I'm telling you, if you ever go to his channel, right? Because what Jake does is, instead of booking guests ahead of time, he goes live and sends the link up, and then if no one responds, he's like, "Can you guys please come on? Can someone come on?" And I try to tell him, like, Jake, tell people, and I'm not the only one. It's like, Jake, tell people ahead of time, or don't go live until you have somebody if you want, because there's literally like 45-minute live streams of Jake where no one comes on, and he just sits there in almost complete silence for 45 minutes. Like I said, he'll heavily breathe every so often. he always says when he's got nothing to say, he's like, I hope everyone's being safe today. He'll say that like 10 times during those 45 minutes, but that's like all he'll say. Or I'll be like, come on, somebody come on. Then there's just more silence. And just silence, and you gotta like fast forward through it. But yeah, when he's got one or two people on, boom. Talkie. What's funny, Metal, is Ava didn't know the lore about Jake. She knows so much about Stern and Opie and Anthony, but she's learning about the Dabbleverse. Like she didn't know much about Vince the lawyer. She actually got invited on a show last week, and she like messaged me asking like what this show was and should she go on it. And it's a pretty well-known show in the Dabbleverse, so I let her know. Obviously I'm like, yeah, this is what you should expect, and if that's fine with you, then go on. If it's not, then don't go on. But she didn't know all about Jake. She just one day saw him on I think it might have been MLC or something, and she's like, because Ava comes on my political show like all the time, and she's like, can you get Jake, that guy Jake? I was like, yeah. She's like, you can? I'm like, yeah, Jake loves shows, he'll go on anyone's show. So I booked him, and it was great because she asked him all these questions I never would ask Jake, like sexual questions, what he fucking jerks off to, what he fucking blah blah blah. And some of the shit got clipped by WATP, like Adam was watching. So it was a great episode. But then she comes to me and she's like, she had this idea for us to do like a weekly show with Jake, and she's explaining it, and it's like this heavily structured thing, and I'm like, we can't do that with Jake. Like Jake's just gonna Jake. He's gonna do whatever he wants. We can't structure a show. He's just gonna talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about. What's going on, Mason? How you doing, buddy? Glad you're here. Good to see you here. Yeah, just I don't know. Jake comes out with some gems. He can be very, very entertaining. I just don't know how to harness Jake. He just goes off on his own, ranting and raving, and when you have a live with Jake, he's like anyone that comes on this show or my show will tell you, I suck. I am a last minute guy. I know it drives Echo crazy, because Echo sends me the link way in advance. I am bad. Like I'll be coming on like 5 minutes before I'm supposed to start. I'm just sending out the link now and everything. The 2 times I booked Jake, he was asking me for the link like 45 minutes ahead of time or something. So I give it to him like 15 minutes to go, and I get on there, and he's talking to me for like 15, 20 minutes straight in the back room, green room, whatever you want to fucking call it. And I'm like, Jake, we got to go live. And it's like, he wasted all this shit. Like he just loves to talk. And then when you go on Jake's show, when it ends, he wants you to stay back, and like he'll be a rush to end the show, but he wants you to stay on to like talk even more. Loves talking to people. Just not very talkative when he's like I'm doing tonight. Yeah, not one of my better shows by any means. Like I said, I hadn't done one of these since last week. Just done the political thing, and I've been on guests on Eccles show and Schmiel a couple times. So I had usually I got way more detailed ideas. I had faint ideas. There were 2 videos I wanted to watch. As I said, one of them's now gone, and I was in a rush, and I don't remember what the fuck the other one was. So this has been I had the one rant I wanted to do, and I did it, and it's pretty much just been going off the chat ever since then, which is something I never do. I know other people do it, but even this, without having a plan, I've had no problem talking for 90 minutes. Jake, he can't do it. He'd be quiet for the whole time. Be like, come on, hope everyone's being safe. So yeah, it was he's tough by himself. How I best explain Jake, he's a force of nature. He is. And I even feel bad when I say this shit, because I like Jake. I know a lot of people have problems with him. He does do a lot of things he shouldn't do. I want to believe that most of that is because of his social issues, anxieties, all that shit going on with him, autism. it's hard for Jake to. He gets angry and frustrated very easily, and sometimes he doesn't do the right thing when that happens. But I try and give him the benefit of the doubt. That ghoulish cry that Rob Saul put on the soundboard had me laughing for days. Rob Saul and oh yeah, I'm actually the one that gave Rob. I have that metal. Let me throw that. I think I can find that for you. Yeah. So I remember when that happened. I was pretty good friends with Douche of the Dabbleverse. If you guys remember him, he's actually been around a little bit lately. I reached out to him because I would love to have him on my political show, and he said yes. He's got a new job, working nights a lot, so we're having trouble booking the time. But the first live I ever did was on JJ Dabble's hosted a roundtable called Dabbling in Politics, which is where we got the name for our show. And it was like me, JJ, Douche, Helga and Lisa from Rest in Peace, Lisa from Trainwreck. Christian Blatt was on it from Who Are These Broadcasters. Anyway, it was a good time. And the bickering was between me and the clippable shit, let's just say, was between me and Douche. And we always got along great, but we could get both fired up about politics and go at it and be fine. So I wanted to have him on. But anyway, Douche was the one. He was on Jake's show last year. And all of a sudden, Jake made fucking weird, crying, weird noise. And Douche is like, what was that? And then all of a sudden, there's another weird noise, and then nothing. And then nobody heard from Jake for days. And turns out I think he broke his laptop, but that noise was fucking hilarious. Let me I should have been looking for it while I was talking. I remember I sent it to Ava when she first found out about Jake. It's on, I don't think it's on YouTube, it's on X, because what happened was when he went missing, Douche went back and recorded that segment off his TV using his cell phone. So it's on, I think it's on Douche's X account, but it's on his X account from like last fucking summer or something. So it's way fucking back there. So I ended up, I had to dug it out one day. There it is. Okay. Let's hold 1 second, guys. I will get it up. Oh, this isn't it. Damn it. That was a different time, Jake. Sorry. Let me see. What the fuck is it? Yeah, that noise was, I mean, Jake's got some highlights. He's made some funny noises. That one was tricky because I remember thinking the noise was hilarious, but also being worried because Jake's not a hard guy to get a hold of. Jake is pretty much 24/7 Dabbleverse. So, yeah, when you can't get a hold of Jake, it's like, what the fuck is going on? So we were a little worried. I think there was even I think Joey C may have called a wellness check on him. Yeah, I think it was Joey. Somebody did. And yeah, it was fucking crazy. God damn it. How fucking far back is this shit? Sorry, guys. Oh, I went too far, I guess. All right. I'll be like John. Dead air kills me. But then I'll watch like Kevin Brennan, and I think he froze up, but he didn't because he's just sitting there saying fucking nothing. John would do the same thing. But you know what's funny? As awful as my voice is, I was actually on an AM radio station when I was 19 to 22. And I mostly wasn't on air. I mostly the technology has totally changed since then, so I couldn't do any of this shit now. But and they had a really old board with knobs instead of fucking dials. Yeah, it was a local small AM station. And I started off playing the commercials and shit for local sporting events, and then even the NASCAR races and the Red Sox games, so the major league shit. And they would let me be the color commentator for one baseball game a year, like a local high school game, and one high school football game a year. And then finally, I was on for, it was either 5 to 6 a.m. or 6 to 7 a.m. 1 fucking hour every Sunday morning between this overnight shit would end. It was like automated. And then this, it was a town with a lot of Portuguese people. So there was a Portuguese show that would come on, and I was doing this 1 hour buffer between the shows where I would have to give the weather on the 15s and just, play songs and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, this awful voice. And what's funny is the woman that was on before me had the spot before me. She was even worse. So yeah, they gave this 5 to 6 a.m. fucking Sunday morning spot to the fucking shitty people. And imagine me, I'm like 20 years old, so I'm fucking partying, and then I gotta fucking, sometimes I'd still be drunk, half drunk, going to this fucking radio station at like fucking 5 in the morning. Okay. Oh, there it is. Finally. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right. This will be worth it, I promise. Yeah. By the way, hey Jake. Jake, I'm gonna show. Do you remember this, Jake? When you were you and douche? I don't owe you any money. Jake, when you disappeared and Jake, put in the chat who did the wellness check on you? Was it Joey C? Yeah, this got brought up, Jake, because you were Rob Saul used to play this shit. When you were on with douche. Shit, hold on, I gotta bring it up. I told Jake he should name his show By the Way. Or Here's the Thing. Here's 2 shows, By the Way with Jake Hudson and Here's the Thing with Jake Hudson. You know how dumb I am? I didn't even notice that Jake said By the Way all the time until I was on his show once, and OJ came on, which is a highlight for me. It's the only time I've ever been on with OJ. And what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, it was the only time I've ever been on with OJ, and OJ kept playing a By the Way drop. And I'm like, holy shit, Jake does say By the Way all the time. I didn't even fucking notice before that. All right. So here it is. This was the infamous when Jake's laptop broke and we didn't know what was wrong with him, but the first noise Jake makes became a big drop around the Dabbleverse. Second noise is good too, just not as good as the first noise. Jake, your first noise was, this is gonna live in the Dabbleverse for fucking ever. Remember Rob Saul would play it all the time.
I hope everybody's doing good today. I hope everybody's staying safe. Anybody that wants to tip the stream, the links are in the description and other stuff's in the description. And right now, like, I think Mommy was on a lot of What's going on?
All right, I don't think we hear anything else. Yeah, that was great. Jake, if you're here, Jake, do you wanna I was gonna end soon, Jake, but if you wanna come on for like 20 minutes, let me know. I'll send you the link, pal. Um, yeah, that was like I said, it was a mixed bag at first because it was funny. But then when you don't hear from Jake, I remember everyone was nervous. Thankfully he was okay. You know what sucks? He explained it to me when I had him on. I can't, it was something happened to his laptop. I'm not sure what it was, but that was Jake's noise for being very frustrated or upset with his laptop breaking. You know what, Jake? I'm just gonna send you the link. And if you want to come on before I get off, fantastic. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying, buddy? Let me see. Da-da-da. Jake's always entertaining. Mr. Hudson, let me find you. I remember when I first found out about Jake, I was trying to figure out if his name was Hudson or because it was Husden in the thing, and I don't know if that was intentional or an accident. There you go, Jake. You got the link if you want it, buddy. I don't even know if you're in here anymore. You might have just been saying hi. Grindle saying someone's yeah, I remember it was the joke like it was his orgasm noise, which would have been hilarious. Jake does send me the link every day. Don't worry about it. I'm in Jake's circle. Yeah, actually I met one of my I think he's only been on once or twice, but he's going to be on more. I met one of my political guests through Jake. Jake actually has a wide I mean, he's got his regulars, you know, Bobby Nicks and all them are back in the circle, but Jake has a wide net, man. I remember I've seen him have this preacher on. I've seen him have this big Southern boy who collects coins. The other day he had this author on, an activist. She has, I think, one or two kids who are autistic, and she wrote books on it. Like, and I actually think Jake's Adam Bush interview was one of the like. Whatever anyone says, Jake actually asked Adam some of the more interesting questions. More interesting than Joey did. And and Jake was also funny because he was nervous. But it was like a nice, I don't know, quaint, almost like charm to it. By having a Hollywood actor on his show. I tried to get Adam Bush, but he big time me. Not big time me, but he gave me a bunch of compliments thinking that would help me. You know what? Let me find that. Not just because of that, but it was a funny moment in the Joey C. Adam Bush thing. I've brought this up before, but I've never shown it. So when Joey C. did that 4-hour interview with Adam Bush, Eckel and I were in it for fucking most of it. And, you know, you'd zone out every so often because, I mean, it just went on. I wouldn't say zone out, but it went on forever. And we during the final hour, Eckel and I really got involved in the chat. Here we go. We really got involved in the chat and I even I sent Joey a super chat. And it almost ended up I forget what it was. Eckel was like, "Geez, dude, if you're gonna send something, send it so," because Adam read it. Like, so Adam plugs our show Between Two Hacks. So I sent a second one where he plugged Between Two Hacks just by reading the chat. Okay, is this it? That wasn't it. Sorry, I know you guys can't see this. I'm trying to like skim through. I just found my 2 super chats. I think it was a regular chat he read. Yeah, I think it was I think it was crosstalk between Ekel and I. And like, and he asked, fuck, sorry. I'm trying to talk while skim through this. This is bad. Yeah, he Adam read like a chat that was supposed to be, I think, meant for like Echo. And I had asked Adam to, if he wanted to do, come on my show, come on my channel. And I kind of broke down what I thought it might be about. And actually, I actually asked him in video form, thinking that might be unique and maybe I could get him that way. So he responded to me in Joey's chat here, and he basically says that he doesn't think he can do anything with me because I'm too self-aware, this and that. Like, kind of saying he just goes on show, uh, like going on Joey's show and going on, um, maybe I don't know, shot at other people, but he kind of said he couldn't do anything with me, and then he gives me a compliment, and Joey took it as a compliment for him, so it was pretty funny. I'm still trying to find it. I just remembered, Skinny Chad, are you still here? Did you had Adam on your show, right? I'm trying to, I think you had Adam on your show. Yeah, if you did, just let me know. I'd like to talk to you about that after. How that went. Fuck. If I can find this one fucking part of the video. I just found it funny because Joey is so zoned out or so into himself. He thinks this compliment is for him when really he kind of got insulted in it, and the compliment was meant for me, and he took it as a compliment. Jesus Christ, where the fuck is this? If only I had done some prep. Not that I planned on even like showing this, but I'm gonna give up in a minute. What the fuck? Yeah, well, Skinny Chad, here's the thing. They're not supposed to turn out well. That's the problem, man. That's what I kind of wanted to talk to you about. Like, I know people that like Adam and are nervous to even have him on because um they don't want to get, they don't know if they can take it. They don't know if they could, like someone I like a lot. They were just saying like, yeah, I'm kind of too, I don't know if my ego can take it or I'm too thin skinned or something like that. So when I was reached out to Adam, I was even like very, very nervous because he's going on looking for, um, he's looking to create content for WATP. That's what he's looking to do. He doesn't, I like Adam, but he's not looking for a straight up experience. He's not looking for a straight up interview. That's what I asked him to do, so I think that's why I got shot down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why I got shot down because what I wanted to do was like kind of too straight. Yeah, I think I even said like, I said I have some interesting questions that I think we might be able to find out the real Adam or get this. And he's like, yeah, I'm not interested in people finding out the real me or something like that. And he was he's more looking to troll to create content. So what I proposed, I don't think was going to work for that. So that's why he turned it down. Yeah, that's why I felt bad for you and other guys, Chad. Not everybody. I didn't feel. Oh, this might be it. Sorry, I didn't feel too bad for Joey because Joey didn't like kind of do it. I think Joey could have had a fucking great show. I mean, it was a funny show. Don't get me wrong, it was funny, but he put too much of the AI to run the fucking show. It needed more Joey. And then he threw it right out the window and wanted like Adam to interview him, which it didn't really work. But yeah, Chad, I remember yours. Let me see. I was hoping it would be a fun show, not the case. I guess he wants me to be his Rob Saul or something. Yeah. Does he? Oh geez. Yeah, like I said, man, I like the guy. But yeah, he doesn't have what sucked for you, Skinny Chad, is you were one of the early ones. So now people know what to expect. If you want to have Adam on, you know you're gonna get trolled, for lack of a better term, or he's content hunting. He wants harvesting. He wants to kind of make a joke out of his guests. Sorry, his host. And unfortunately, you were one of the first people, so we didn't know this shit. So yeah, I felt bad for you when I saw that, man. Um, I hear I don't know you well, but I hear from the pineapple you're a good dude. You seem like a good dude, so yeah, I felt bad. Like I said, now if people do it, I don't feel as bad now because yeah, it's out there. This is what Adam does. So I made me nervous about asking him on, but I still did. But that was still kind of early on too because he hadn't even done Joey yet. But yeah, he didn't want to do what I wanted to do, so because I think it would have made it too hard to harvest something. I don't know. Sorry, I'm about to give up. I'm literally talking while I'm scrolling through this fucking video, trying to fucking find this one spot. I know it's fucking in the final hour. Oh, that was interesting. Hold on. Do. All right, I think we're almost there. All right. Sorry, guys. Joey, if I'm finding the video, Joey's talking. Just weird. He's talking about Mike shitting a provider, saying I was a good guy and telling Joey should have me on. Just threw me off because once again, it brought me back to not even knowing what's going on with that. All right. It's got to be here soon. Come on, Joey. God damn it. Go, go, go. This isn't even worth it now. Jesus fucking Christ. But now it's just like, I don't want to end the show until I fucking find it. I don't want to give up. God, wish I had a fucking timestamp. Come on. Come on. Oh, this might be it. Finally. All right, guys. I apologize. It's not even anything great. I just, number one, filling my ego. I got Eckel and I got talked about a decent amount in the final hour. I even like skipped over the shit while I was finding. Yeah, he was reading our chats, our super chats. So he just read he just read a chat where I was talking to Eckel. So Adam just read it out loud, and they're trying to figure out. Actually, I'll just play that part so you can get the whole thing. But all right. So basically, this is another chat Adam reads on accident. It's not meant for him. It's meant for, I think he's just bored. He's just reading chats. He literally, 10 minutes before this, he read a chat of mine and a chat of Eccles. So he's just reading out random chats. And then he finally brings up how I asked him to come on and do a show with me. And he addresses it. And while he addresses it, he gives a compliment at the end. Now, the compliment might just be to get me off his back. I'm not fucking naive. He might just be like, yeah, Nick, you're too nice. I can't do anything with you. basically that could mean you're too boring, you're not, whatever. Could be anything. So I'm not above that. But what I find funny is he gives a compliment, and Joey, some reason, thinks the compliment is for him. I don't know if he zones out during this whole thing or what, but I found it. Eckel and I both found it pretty funny. So here we go. I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't put it up. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm fucking listening to it, and you guys can't even fucking hear it. Jesus Christ. What a fucking train wreck this has been. Take this one down. Sorry. All right. You guys have been awesome. This has been a shit fucking show, and you stuck around anyway. I really appreciate that, guys. I promise they'll be better. I think I've had better. This is not one of my better shows. Like I said, I had a couple things I thought might be interesting, and then they just kind of got thrown out the window when I couldn't find the fucking videos. So here we go.
Yeah. So you understand where I'm coming from.
OG Mumbling Nick, tell me what this means, Joey. Clip Adam plugging the show, or clip Joey talking about me?
Wait, so say that again?
OG Mumbling Nick, our good friend, says clip Adam plugging the show, or clip Joey talking about me?
All right. Just to explain real quick, because I didn't want to play the other chat that had to do with that. He read like 5 or 10 minutes, so I don't want to play like a 5 or 10 minute clip here. I had sent in, there was a chat, and Adam read it, and Eckel said something like, "Dude, if you're gonna super chat, at least plug our show, at least plug the show, whatever." And so it was like plug Adam talking to whatever the fuck he said. I was just asking Eckel what he meant by plugging, so he finally explained it. But yeah, it was a chat aimed at Eckel, not at these guys. So them reading it doesn't make much sense.
If you got something that, my answer to that, if you feel it's good enough to clip it. I mean, I'm all for it. But
all right, hold on.
About
let
me?
Let me play that again.
It says clip Adam plugging the show, or clip Joey talking about me?
If you got something that, my answer to that, if you feel it's good enough to clip it. I mean, I'm all for it. But I mean, I don't. Of course, Adam's got great moments here. Adam showed up here. He agreed to come on here. I'm impressed with that alone. I'm a nobody, and he just to find out that he does
have my own issues. But Nick, I got your I saw the video. I'll talk to you about doing your show. The only problem I see now with doing your show is that you seem like we seem really similar, and from similar backgrounds, and you're very level-headed and rational and self-aware. I don't know what we would have to talk about. Like, I think you're a great guy, and you seem to run a great show. I don't know what we would really get into, because we have all the same opinions, I think, and it's a different kind of dynamic. But maybe, I certainly don't want to take a quiz that's going to reveal me. But maybe if we can come up with something that we can talk about together that might help create some, I don't know, some spark or some fire, we could find it. But other than having you interview me, I don't want to do that. And me interviewing you, I don't think there's anything to uncover. I think you're pretty great.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, man. All right, so
I don't know why I always get a kick out of Joey thinking he was talking about him. Yeah, I think it was almost, what sucked, it was almost like an insult to Joey, saying like I'm level-headed. So there's no, like, obviously, and I think Joey would admit he's not very level-headed, but that's what Adam's looking for. He's looking for which is why Skinny Chat, I found yours interesting, because you seem like a very level-headed guy too. You know what I mean? Yours wasn't like Joey C's at all, or Jake's. What sucked is Chad's. I saw part of. I didn't see the whole thing. Yeah, obviously, what's his face is a little out there too. I can't think of his name. Shit. Here I go again. Blanking on everyone's name again. But fuck. Who's the fucking producer? The good-looking guy in good shape. He was the producer on Stern. I can't think of his fucking name now. Hangs out with Vince the lawyer all the time. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Adam did a show with him, and he can say some whacked out shit too. So I thought I could hopefully get Adam in the same way that Casey Armstrong. Thank you, Skinny Chad. I thought I could get him in the same way you did, Skinny Chad, because you don't act like these guys. You know what I mean? You don't act like Joey C. You don't act like KC. You don't act like Jake. You don't even act like Chad Zumick. So, and he still went on your show. So yeah, I like I said, I don't know if that's just his way of letting me down nicely, or I'm leading towards that, like, or he just on the spot can't think of, or I was on WATP once, just for a specific reason, and Carl was very nice to me. Maybe like, that whole show is about shitting. It's about making fun of podcasts. Maybe they didn't want to make fun of me. I don't know. That's actually less likely. Now I'm getting too big of a head, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe because Adam's very good friends with Ava, and Ava comes on my show all the time. He doesn't want to rip my shit apart. Not sure. Because like I said, I totally get the part how I'm not like some of these other shows he's been on, but he has been on level-headed people like Mr. Skinny Chad here. But I don't know. Not going to give up. Hopefully I can get Adam on at some point. I don't want to be odds with Adam, but I don't think he feels the same. At Boston, I tried to bury the hatch. Oh, that's so. I wanted to go to that show so bad. I live in Massachusetts, Skinny Chad. So I wanted to. I used to be from the Boston area. I've moved out more towards the outskirts, but still here. And when that show was first announced, I was all over it. Then, unfortunately, I started having health issues going, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to attend, so I didn't. That was at like the height of that shit, unfortunately, so I was unable to go. But yeah, I really did want to go. That's weird. He doesn't want to. See, that's too bad. I'm gonna DM you later, Skinny Chat. I'd love to have you on sometime if you're interested. Not just to talk. I do want to talk about Adam a little bit, but other things too. But yeah, trying to get to know what Adam's really like. I'm trying to figure that out. Because he is an actor, so you don't know, what is this an act? Is he this sincere guy? Is he this troll? I don't know. I like to think he's a good guy, and that's where I'm leaning. But if he didn't want to bury the hatchet with you, that's interesting to me, because I thought he would do. I thought he would bury something like that. Okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. I'm sorry, Skinny Chat. I forgot all about that. How you're dealing with something right now. Yeah, okay. I put it in your corner, my friend. Just message me whenever you're, somewhere down the road when you are in a better place. Yeah, sorry, I did forget you said that. Yeah, because when I invited Adam on, like part of my reason for starting this show is, like I said, I want to interview people, Dabbleverse podcasters and Dabbleverse chatters, because there's a lot of chat. Like, I was a chatter, and this is a tiny thing, so I'm still just a chatter. But a lot of these guys are starting to do shit, like NJ Ranger. He had a fucking pretty damn good sized audience for his debut show the other day. Spurgy's doing a lot of shit. Deft is not just doing clips anymore. He's doing a live show. So a lot of guys are doing shit. So I'd like to interview people like that. I'd even like to interview chatters who don't normally, like maybe Vagina Wrinkle. I know Deft asked her first, so I'll let him interview her first. But I'd like to interview her sometime. I doubt Penis Wrinkle would do it, but I'd love to have him on. Like, obviously he doesn't have to show his face or anything. And Shaka John, I'd love to have her on. Stuff like that. So trying to get to know people and let the Dabbleverse get to know each other, because it's you know, man, I think a lot of times we just, and I've been guilty of it. You judge real quick, like Deft and I didn't get along at first for no fucking reason. Just thinking that we wouldn't get along. So, um, I can't wait. Yeah, I know, Badge. What's up? When are you doing these interviews? I mean, that's fine with me. I don't want to step on Def's toes or anything. Um, but no, you can do Def's show. I'm just, somewhere down the line. I'd love to have you on. I don't want to. I mean, that's up to Def. I don't want to intrude. But I do like doing shows with him. I think it's a little. We're different in many ways, but also similar in other ways. So it makes it pretty interesting. All right. Holy shit. I've dragged this on way too long for someone that had nothing. So thank you guys so much for showing up. I will have something better planned next time. As I said, in my head this morning, I'm like, or really this afternoon, I'm like, man, this thing that happened to me Friday night fucking on Schmiel annoyed me. This fucking thing with who the fuck was it? Was it Chad? Someone else fucking annoyed me. And I started thinking of all this fucking phoniness and hypocrisy going on. And then I never harnessed it to like put it together for a show. I was busy all day and then work and then fucking grocery store. And now I'm fucking just threw this together and ended up a fucking shit show. But thank you guys for showing up. It turned into more like a fucking hang. Thank you, Metal, for showing up. Appreciate it, guys. I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably do one more of these this week. No show with Eckle because he's on Saturday because he's on holiday. I will have my Sunday political show, and I believe Monday I will be on BYB making my BYB debut, but I will let you guys know for sure. And yeah, as I said, I'll do one more of these this week, probably Thursday maybe. Thank you guys. Wait, what's today? Yeah, Thursday. Have a good night, everyone. Peace. Sorry, I mistimed my peace. Try it again. Peace. Hey, ladies of the Dabbleverse. I'm good at eating pussies.
Mumbling Nick in the back room, Clary. Cool pineapple rules, too strength to bear. If this he said cake, you've got some flair. Time to break the chains and take the air. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No more scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No more scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Interviews roll, stories unfold. Mumbling no more, his voice turns bold. Mr. C cheers from the sidelines cold. Ain't no pineapple left in the cold. Now the studio's his, the future bright. Nick's own podcast is guiding light. No more whispers, his tone takes flight. He's soaring now with all his might. Yeah!
Taz, if you want me to go down on you, I will. I'll try my best.